This is part of my fundamental message on breaking down information and explaining compounding interest in a way that anybody can understand. I have a very interesting way of breaking down information so anybody can understand information if they have no experience whatsoever in the stock market. But if you've ever wondered as to whether or not if you took $2, how much it could mean if you invested $2 a day into the stock market, what is that? Do you have any idea what that could be worth in the future? If you just did away with $2 of expenditures per day in your budget, what that could mean for you in the future? You've heard the term compounding interest many, many times, but do you really understand what it means? And the purpose behind these breakdowns into dollars of investment capital into the stock market is to really resonate with those individuals that don't have a lot of experience in the stock market and to really break it down into plain language as to what the impact could be to individuals if they could just find a few dollars in their budget. In this particular scenario, what it could mean if you could find $2 extra in your budget to invest in the stock market. Now, the scenario I keep consistent for purposes of the lesson to really resonate with investors to understand that if you had $2 a day to invest in the stock market and we run it out for the course of 40 years, okay, that's going to put any 20-year-old out there at 60 years old. How much would that $2 contribution to the stock market be worth over that time period? And we take an anticipated rate of return of 7%. It's very average rate of return, and we affix a fee or an expense with that account of 0.04. Now the 0.04 is reflected of the two total stock indexes that I recommend on this all the time. They're products offered by Vanguard. The ticker symbol is VTI for the total stock ETF, and then the S&P 500 is the VOO. Both of those funds carry an expense ratio of 0.04 to enjoy investing in that particular product. Now, you only need to buy that one product because it diversifies you along those respective benchmarks or indices, all right? Now, if you took $2 and you invested it per day over a 40-year cycle, believe it or not, that $2 is going to be worth $150,000 after 40 years, all right? And you think, well, Ryan, is that magic? What's going on here? No, it's not magic. It's the beauty of compounding interest. And anybody who's interested in the stock market, make no mistake about it, I'm here to blow the lid off the biggest, best kept secret in the industry, and that is why people invest. They are all trying to seek the opportunity to participate in money making money. And that is what compounding interest is. Now, in the scenario that I just gave you, $2 a day for 40 years, you're going to invest around $28,000 over that cycle. So $28,000 is the real dollars, the $2 per day, every day that you're investing in the stock market. Now, if you're a new investor or you're interested in the stock market, you wonder, how can I do this? I'm in, Ryan. When I heard about compounding interest when I was a young person, I was 16 years old when I first heard about compounding interest. This was the very thing that got me excited about investing in the stock market. The very prospect of taking X number of dollars and turning it into more dollars in the future, that's a message that I can resonate with, and that's a message that I hope to break down for you guys to really understand the impact of compounding interest going forward. You say, I'm sold, Ryan, I'm in. Hold on just a second. Let me try to divert you from one of the biggest mistakes that investors make in being excited about compounding interest, wanting to participate in compounding interest, and then making the biggest mistake that most investors make, and they do not acknowledge the fees within your investment account. Industry average is in between 1 to 3%. So I use the example of a 2% expense added to that account in the exact same scenario that I gave you guys, because remember I told you I awarded an expense of 0.04 within the first scenario, my scenario as a self-directed investor. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people are excited about it. They'll get started. They'll even start a retirement Roth IRA account, only to subject that account to fees over time. All right. Now, if you run the same scenario, $2 per day for 40 years, and you get the same rate of return of 7%, your $150,000 is actually going to be $90,000 over the same time horizon. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this breakdown of compounding interest. If you understood nothing about the stock market, but you resonated with the message of compounding, guys, it is real. It is not magic, it is mathematics. And if you understand where you're going in the future in trying to achieve that compounding effect going forward, then you can multiply the effect on the hard-earned dollars that you're working so hard to contribute to your retirement accounts, and you can exercise your right to participate in compounding interest down the line. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this very important fundamental message on compounding interest. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. You've got to hear my message. It's for anybody out there interested in the stock market. No experience necessary to tune in and become a self-directed investor. No experience at all to sit back and take some time to learn about interesting ideas about preserving your wealth going forward, because it doesn't make any sense to work so hard to achieve dollars going forward only to give it away through fees and through financial planning institutions. Guys, leave your comments at the bottom of this video. Share it with anybody out there that you know, a young person that needs to get a hold of this information, and they can resonate with understanding that if they have $2 to rub together, what it could mean for them in the future by taking that $2 and turning it into $150,000 down the line. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and good luck in your investment future.